Hi, welcome to another episode of Geek Lunch Meat. I'm your host, Chris. The sun is shining. It's been a lovely week, very unusual for this time of year. It's all been good. The shops reopened almost 2 weeks ago now, so I managed to get to the comic book store for the first time in 4 months. There's a huge pile of comics to pick up, which is a great lot of reading to do. But yeah, my wallet did fill that one quite a bit. But let's see what's been going on in the world of geek this week. First of all, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Marvel's film, which is not the next one. The next one is Black Widow, so it'll be the one after that. September the 3rd, it is hitting cinemas, and the trailer dropped last week along with a poster. I will put a link below as always. Yeah, it looks great. I don't know anything about Shang-Chi, I must admit. I'm not a big reader, although I buy a lot of comic books. I don't buy a lot of superhero comic books. All I know, he does Kung Fu, and it's in the Marvel, it's in the MCU, so I'm looking forward to that. I love the Marvel films, I love martial arts movies, love Kung Fu, so yeah, check out the trailer below. Really looking forward to that one, so that should be good. It should tie in nicely with the next Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness and some of the things they've got going on in the next phase of the MCU there. So look forward to that. Trailer as well this week for Love, Death and Robots Volume 2. That's hitting Netflix 14th of May. It's an anthology, mostly animated anthology show produced by David Fincher and Tim Miller. The very first season was actually one. It means a lot to me. It was the first article I ever wrote a review of for the Digital Fix website. I will drop a link to that below as well, so you can go and read that if you want. That's the very first thing I ever wrote for them. And say season 2, 14th of May, it's hitting Netflix, and they've also announced that volume 3 is also coming next year, so they're obviously happy with that. They're already doing a volume 3. First season was great. I say they're in little short animations, some CGI, some traditional, some funny, some serious, some full of action. So there's a bit of something for everyone. All just sort of science fictiony, a lot of robots featuring. Yeah, we will check that out definitely. We also got the new trailer for Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous Season 3. That is hitting Netflix 21st of May. Looks good. If you've got little kids, they'll love it. Not too little, it can get scary in places, but if you've got sort of slightly bigger kids, or if you're just a childish adult like me who likes animation and likes dinosaurs, first 2 seasons were good fun. This season, the trailer looks like the kids are still trying to get off the island. Looks like an ill-fated attempt at building a raft there, and obviously the cliffhanger from the second season was this big dinosaur like the Indominus Rex, something new that was cooked up in the lab that had broken out at the end of the last season. So it looks like they're going to be terrorized by that this time around. What else have we got? Oh, Indiana Jones 5 casting news. It wouldn't be another week here at Geek Lunch Meat without bringing you some more casting news from the next Indiana Jones movie. And this time out, it is Thomas Kretschmann, who you may know mostly from he was the captain of the ship in Peter Jackson's version of King Kong, but he also played Baron von Strucker in Age of Ultron. He was the bad guy there, the Hydra guy. So once again, I think that's now. I mean, you've got Harrison Ford, Thomas Kretschmann, Mads Mikkelsen we announced last week, and Phoebe Waller-Bridge. So all 4 of them have all been in Marvel or Star Wars productions. So Disney really obviously likes to stick to the same actors that they know. So they are all coming in Indiana Jones 5, which should start shooting. I'll try that one again. It should start shooting shortly. What else have we had? We had the season finale of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So I'll go into that a bit. If you've not watched it yet, I will go into some spoilers, so you might want to avoid listening to this bit. But so episode 6 aired last Friday on Disney Plus, and overall the whole season's been solid. It's been good. It's I wonder. It should have come out obviously last year. It should have been the first of the MCU shows to hit Disney Plus, obviously due to the pandemic, etc. we got WandaVision first. I wonder if this suffers slightly from not being first, because WandaVision gave us a lot of moments of what's going on. Obviously, the whole build up with the first few episodes where it was all very strange, and gave us lots of little sort of cliffhangers and mysteries and moments. It sort of got everyone was watching it and wondering. Well, whereas Falcon and Winter Soldier is much more straightforward. It's a much more simpler plot, sort of action based, a bit of espionage, bit of intrigue. Very much a direct sequel. I think I've said this in another episode. To sort of the Winter Soldier and Civil War, carrying on the story of Sam and Bucky. And yeah, it works as a whole. It's just a sort of above average, I suppose, MCU installment. Very heavy on the Falcon. Bucky doesn't get as much to do. I'd say that's probably my one major not complaint as such, but don't want to sound like a moaning. I really enjoy the show. Sorry, honestly, but it's obviously mostly the story of Sam becoming the new Captain America, which it's obvious from the start that's what's going to happen, but it sort of spends the whole series obviously like trying to make out that maybe that's not the case. He gives up. Obviously, he gives up the shield too easily. Obviously, when Steve Rogers hands it to him at the end of Avengers Endgame, and it's like, yeah, you think, that's done and dusted. That's all good. But he straight away sort of passes it on, puts it in the Smithsonian, and they say, yeah, no, that's it. And then obviously you know what's coming, you know what's going to happen. Sure enough, come the finale, he's donning his new Captain America uniform with the shield. So yeah, it's a shame that there's you know it's coming, and there's a moment sort of in the final episode where he appears as Cap for the first time, but it's good, but it's not quite as it's not that moment like in the end of Endgame where Cap suddenly wields Mjolnir, and you think, and the whole audience erupted in the cinema. You want that sort of moment, but he comes in as Captain America, and you think, yeah, okay, we knew it was coming, which is a shame. But the other thing they do is Sharon Carter. Emily Van Camp, say as Sharon Carter, Agent 13, I think she is, back in this. She turns out in the final episode, again spoilers, to be the mysterious power broker that they keep talking about, the sort of criminal overlord who's sort of working out of Madripoor. It was obvious it was her all along. They didn't really introduce anyone else. There was a vague, you thought, maybe. Typically MCU, maybe in an end credit scene on the final episode, you'll get suddenly this some famous character from the comics introduced, and it was like, but it seemed pretty much. It looked like she had alternative motives, that she had some secrets, and then it was just revealed, yeah, she is the power broker. Obviously, going forward, she's obviously going to be quite sort of a double agent now that she's sort of back. Inside Shield, or Shield as it exists now, but obviously working to her own agenda, which it's good going forward. But it was an obvious thing to do. The best parts I thought of the show, Wyatt Russell as as the new Captain America to begin with, and US agent as he ends up. He was fantastic in it. Obviously, he's no Chris Evans, and he's just a figurehead as Cap. He doesn't, he doesn't, a bit like in the original Cap movie where he's, the Star Spangled Man, and he's just this figurehead that the just for propaganda purposes that the US Army uses him for. Which is exactly what happens here. But then he wants more, and he's excellent because he's a conflicted character. He's not. At times he's a good guy. At times he comes across as a bad guy. Obviously, he goes too far, avenging the death of his friend. And can't be Captain America anymore, but then says, well, I'm going to make my own shield. It's great. And along with that, the other best thing in the show was Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who always brilliant, turning up as, I've checked my notes, Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. Again, a character from the comics that I'm not familiar with, but she comes in and steals the show straight away. Again, with obviously ambiguous. Is she good? Is she bad? I'd say she basically gives the US agent title to John Walker, and obviously he's going to be going forward. There's obviously going to be this other like shadowy group. Obviously now, especially now that he's had the super soldier serum, so he's very much the sort of hero now. But obviously he's got a bit of a dodgy past. The other thing I thought was a bit of a letdown. I just Falcon gets given this Captain America suit. They make out it's sort of the cliffhanger at the end of the 5th episode. What's in this box? We know it's come from Wakanda. I thought they missed a trick because obviously Sam is just a man. He's not had the super serum. He hasn't got powers. He's basically got a jetpack and some mechanical wings. With the suit coming from Wakanda, I thought they were going to give him a suit sort of made out of vibranium, or like Black Panther's suit, where it absorbs the energy of people's hits and then gives it back out, which would be great. But it wasn't. It was just as they built him, this fancy Captain America looking Falcon suit, which is fine. But you sort of think he's still, obviously he's got the shield and he can take impacts, etc., etc. But when he's lost the shield, he's just a guy in a suit. So I know not all of the Avengers have to have superpowers, but it would give him something maybe to even it up when they do come, obviously inevitably in future films against bigger bad guys like Thanos and things like that. Just give him more of an edge. But they didn't go that way, obviously. Talking of future films, they have announced that the writer of this series is now been signed up to do Captain America 4. So obviously, going forward, obviously Sam is going to be Captain America now. Obviously, it comes up at the end of the show instead of coming up the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It comes up Captain America and the Winter Soldier. So obviously he's taken on that mantle, and that's the way they're going forward. So that's going to be way down the line, I think. Obviously, presumably after all of the films that they've already announced coming. So overall, Falcon and Winter Soldier, it was really good, solid, good action. I know Baron Zemo was another one who stole the show, especially with his dancing that became a meme that's been everywhere. So to me, the more of the supporting cast were actually more interesting than Sam's sort of overall sort of predictable journey to becoming Captain America. I also like there's a lot of quiet bits where just the interplay between him and Bucky, especially when they're just on Sam's boat. There's like montages of them building the boat. Some of the jokes between the two of them just go really well. It's a lot of those smaller parts that work better in the show. Solid. If you've not seen it, check it out. If you have seen it, let me know in the comments below what you think, whether you agree with me or there seems to be a bit of, not a backlash, but some internet sites have sort of, especially the last episode, said that it was lacking. It was a bit muddled. I didn't feel that. Messy. The kid keeps saying. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a good climax to the show. But do you agree or disagree? Comment down below. That is about it for this week. Last thing I managed. This came this week. Hopefully it's in focus. You can see it there. This is the new Mandalorian figure. But they've done them in a retro style, like the original Star Wars figures, even down to sort of this the vinyl cape. You could also get, what do we got? Your Cara Dune, IG-11, Quill, the Ugnaught, the Child, obviously, Moff Gideon, Grief Karga, and the Remnant Trooper. I don't think you can buy the Remnant Trooper individually. I think it comes with, are you going to buy a Monopoly, Star Wars Monopoly game, Mandalorian Monopoly game, or I think what that one is. Just to make you buy something more expensive if you wanted to get the complete set. But got this. There's loads of them online on eBay. More roughly, they're about 14 quid. You might be able to pick one up in the shops if you're lucky. I picked up because I've been putting together a collection of the old vintage figures. I had them all as a kid. I did have all of the carded figures. They started when they brought out the new ones in 1995. I had them all, mint condition, still carded. Collected them for years, and then just so many of them come out, and they just started getting more and more expensive. So I ended up selling all of mine in the end. It's just ridiculous now. They used to, 6 or 7 quid in the shops. Now you'll be lucky if you can get them, say, for less than 14, 15 quid each. Most of them you can't even get in the shops. You end up having to get them from eBay or from specialist dealers. You end up paying sort of far more money than that. But so I'm not going down that. I'm not going down that rabbit hole again of sinking a large amount of money into collecting carded figures, but I couldn't really resist this one. He will stay in his packaging because it's the old retro style. If you might want to pick one of those up or get the whole set, maybe. That's about it for this week. If you could hit like and subscribe, that'd be great. That really helps out the channel. But yeah, so until next week, where it was a bank holiday weekend next week, so obviously the weather forecast is looking like rain. But so enjoy the sunshine if you can. If you're in the UK or wherever you are, take care. And until next time, eat geek and be merry.